Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm continuing with my Charli XCX discography journey, and we have made it to her fourth studio album from 2020, I mean, called How I'm Feeling Now. Released 8 months after her previous LP, Charli, from 2019, the album was conceived in a span of 6 weeks during the COVID-19 lockdown in a do-it-yourself collaborative process with her fans. In March of 2020, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Charli began a self-isolating live stream series. When talking about the process of creating the album, Charli said, "The nature of this album is going to be very indicative of the times, just because I'm only going to be able to use the tools I have at my fingertips to create all the music, artwork, and videos, everything." So for me anyway, that makes the album all the more intriguing because Charli crafted and recorded this album in isolation during the beginning stages of the pandemic when she had limited resources. I am looking at the track list and there are 11 tracks for a total of 37 minutes. I don't recall hearing any of these songs before, but like always, if I start listening to a song that sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. Anyway, let's get into it with track 1, Pink Diamond.
Different ways, every single night kind of feels the same. I'm a pink diamond, I need space. I just wanna go real hard, pink diamond in the dark.
That was track 1, Pink Diamond. I mean, who needs crack cocaine when you have Charli XCX and her music? The overall production on this track is a perfect representation of what my mind was like back in 2020, especially during the start of the pandemic, the craziness, the toilet paper, just the insanity and mass confusion. I just want to go real hard. Pink diamond in the dark. I just want to go real hard. Lip gloss on, and I'm looking like a star. Got a tiny bag, but I got a big heart. On the video chat, cute skirt and a bra. I'm feeling so fine, kind of feeling like a slut. Gonna give you good views. Watch me whip it up. I'm really so rare. I'm sent from above. I'm online and I'm feeling so glamorous. Watch me shine for the boys and the cameras. In real life, could the club even handle us? I like how she brings up things like video chat because obviously in 2020, even now, I mean, so many people, their only means of communication at the time was Zoom and video chatting. It's also when a lot of people started OnlyFans. Oh god, 2020 was just a blur of a year. So much was happening, but at the same time, a lot actually wasn't happening. I remember when my entire city was in lockdown. I forget for how long, but it was so spooky. The streets downtown was completely empty. You couldn't see anyone. There wasn't a single soul on the streets, on the sidewalks, on the buses, anywhere. It was like a ghost town. I did enjoy listening to this song for the first time. That bizarre, hyper electropop production. It really does take you over and you feel like you are tripping on something. I don't know. At least I did. And this isn't typically a song I would want to listen to all the time. For me anyway, I have to be extremely drunk to want to listen to the song again. Anyway, let's move on to track 2, Forever. That was track 2, Forever. And the production on some of Charli XCX's albums, such as this one and Charli, reminds me of a hungry beast who is ready to earfuck my eardrums. And yes, that is a compliment. I have never used that as a description for an album's production ever in my entire life, but I just randomly thought of it when I was listening to this track. Love Suicide, you and I drove for miles. Knew I'd be here, be here, be here with you. Knew I'd be here. We took a dive in the blues, scared to lose all my feelings. Knew I'd be here with you, yeah. I hope you get some time to grow, not a ghost, you're in my head. I will always love you. I'll love you forever, even when you're not together. I will always love you. I like this part here. When the roof caved in and the water fell through, hope when we're old, we'll be friends, reminisce. Hope we'll be there, us too. All the memories, all the photos we took, yeah. Now, Forever was selected as the lead single from the album. Charli is singing about an everlasting love that will remain even if the relationship fades away or if they're not physically together. I do prefer this track over track 1, Pink Diamond, and I like the melody of the chorus. I like the lyrics, and I would listen to the song again. But anyway, let's move on to track 3, Claws.
Like your mind, like your smile, like your eyes, I could die. We're so high, roller coaster ride, diamond bright, kiss me right, yeah. I like everything about you. I like everything. Don't you hold me back, 'cause I know, when I know, I don't wanna be alone. When I know, I wanna go. I'm not shy, make you sigh, slip and slide, up my thighs, hop inside. We're so high, roller coaster ride. I like everything about you. I like. Don't you hold me back, 'cause I know, when I know, I wanna go.
That was track 3, Claws. And this was another fun song on the album. The lyrics were quite cute. Party time, hop inside, we're so high, roller coaster ride, Gemini, switchy sides, that's so nice. I like everything about you. I'm not shy, make you sigh, slip and slide up my thighs, juicy just like clementines. For me anyway, I particularly like the last 30 seconds of this track. The song is about love in the time of self-isolation, inspired by her boyfriend whom she is quarantined with in the wake of the pandemic. I feel like the production on this album, the overall sound, is like her prior album, Charli, but this album in particular is accelerated like an extra 50%. But anyway, let's move on to track 4, 7 Years.
So hard, things that we've been through, yeah. Right here, and it feels brand new. Hello, secretly. I know that look inside my eyes means always. 7 years and it's been you and I. Really complicated work through deep end. 7 years and it's been you and I. Oh yeah, I really love you for life. I have the holy matrimony on wire. You're exactly really my type. We took some sleeping pills on that flight. Swoosh. I know that look inside my eyes means always. 7 years and it's been you and I. Really complicated work through deep end.
was track 4, 7 Years, and this might be one of my favorite tracks on the album so far. So hard, things that we've been through, yeah, could have fallen, but we only grew, yeah. So I made my house a home with you. I'm right here, and it feels brand new. I used to live inside a lie with you. And now we're honest, and it feels so good. Cause you're exactly really my type. I think we took some sleeping pills on that flight. In 7 years, it really flown by. So it looks like this is another song about perhaps her boyfriend. But anyway, let's move on to track 5, Detonate.
Building walls in my sleep, I can't turn back. And you know you won't hurt me. I'm about to detonate. Dirty, I can tell dirty. I'm about to detonate. And I think I don't trust myself. Why should you love me? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just feeling confused. Know you hope that I prove.
That was track 5, Detonate, and this was another solid track on the album. And one thing I noticed about this album is there are 0 features on the track list, which is very refreshing, especially when it comes to her last 3 albums, her 2 mixtapes, Number 1 Angel and Pop 2, and Charli, her prior album. I mean, those albums and mixtapes were just littered with features, and this one has 0. Close myself off in new ways, building walls in my sleep. I can't turn back. I've been reeling for 12 days. When I start to see if it gets real bad, hurt me. No, you won't hurt me. I'm about to detonate. Pull you close and then I'll be gone. Sorry. Never say sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just feeling confused. My emotions get blue. Had to push them all through. No, you hope that I'll prove everything will stay cool, but I can't promise that's true. And then she keeps saying, so do you love me? Why should you love me? Do you love me? Why should you love me? I wasn't the biggest fan of this track. It's probably one of my least favorites. Compared to all the other tracks I listened to, I didn't find this song as intriguing. And I will say, I don't know if I'm the only one, but at times, her lyrics and even some of the melodies of her songs remind me of Marina and the Diamonds. But let's move on to track 6, Enemy.
They say keep your friends close, but you're closer. I know when you're here, you might help me intimacy. I'll admit I'm scared. Maybe I'm an enemy. Now I'm feeling that you're a little close to me. It's really clear to me. You could do a little damage, you could put me deeper. Setting me up in my bedroom under my sheets over my love. Maybe you can reach me. Maybe I'm an enemy. The only one who knows the way I really feel. Maybe I'm an enemy. So cold at the surface. Can you reach me? So cold at the surface. Can you reach me?
I think a tough journey to be on, and I don't fully really understand it yet. It hurts.
Maybe I'm an enemy. Now I'm feeling that you're a little close to me. Do a little damage, you could put me deeper. Maybe I'm an enemy.
That was track 6, Enemy, and there was an interesting spoken word part in this song. It was some sort of conversation, a sample of someone speaking. I don't know if it was Charli herself talking or someone else, but it says, I think a tough journey to be on. Whilst you're around a lot of people, I feel like I'm learning that about myself. I don't fully really understand it yet. It hurts here. It like hurts here. Maybe you're my enemy. I seem to think that I'm a really bad person. Baby, you're my enemy, can you reach me? She does start the song by saying, they say keep your friends close, but you're closer. I love when you're here. I'm so far away sometimes, I'm distant. You might help me. Intimacy, I'll admit, I'm scared. Maybe you can reach me. Maybe you're my enemy. I really did like the lyrics of this track. I think lyrically this might be one of the best songs, and I thought it was quite catchy, the chorus. I can appreciate the song for what it is. Is it a song I would listen to again? Probably not. I am finding that a lot of these songs just aren't really resonating with me. I really do like the production of many of these tracks, all of the tracks actually. Highly inventive, creative, different, experimental, bizarre, weird, and I like that. I also like the songwriting on this album. It's very honest. Anyway, let's move on to track 7, I Finally Understand.
The walls are all gone, keeping nothing down. Now it's sticking close, and I understand, baby. I'm feeling now I found my healing. Put in the arm. My therapist said I hate myself really bad. You tell me it's fine, let me cry and hug it out. Finally understand that maybe. Feeling now I found my healing. Liquid in my hands, liquid in my mouth. Got me tripping now, got me tripping now. You love me even when I hate myself, I'm sure, baby. Feeling now I found my beauty. Baby, feeling now I found my
That was track 7, I Finally Understand, and this track is one of my favorites on the album. It's definitely near the top. I like the overall vibe of this song. I like the chorus, and I thought it was great. The walls are all gone. Did we melt them down? Liquid in my hands, liquid in my mouth. Footage on my phone. Did it with your tongue. And now you're sticking close, and I understand that, baby, I love you bad, because lately I finally understand that maybe this feeling that I found might kill me, put me in the ground. And then she goes on to say, my therapist said I hate myself really bad. You tell me it's fine, let me cry and hug it out. So not only is Charli XCX singing about her relationship on this album quite a bit, but she's also bringing up her intimate therapy sessions also. Now, I Finally Understand was selected as the 3rd single from the album. In the lyrics, Charli delves into her struggles with mental health with the line, my therapist said I hate myself really bad. I do think when it comes to all the songs I've listened to so far, the first 7 songs, this track is definitely the more tamer one. It's the more calmer one. It's the more commercial sounding one, I guess. But anyway, let's move on to track 8, C2O. Really?
white sheets, you and me used to lay close. A click running through my mind like a rainbow. Long drive so divine when the sun showed. My click running through my mind like a rainbow. My click on me, you fall in love. Driving round the door, look at you. I miss them, I miss them, I miss them. White sheets, you and me used to lay close. Took it in our lungs, then we all chose. Long drive so divine when the sun showed. I miss them, I miss them, I miss them. I miss them.
That was track 8, C2O. And this is the second time that Charli has sung about clicks, whether it be CLICK click or the CLIQUE click. I'm next level, so legit with all my click, click, click. I'm next level, click, click, click. And then she goes on to say, well, first, she keeps repeating click, 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 click. White sheets, you and me used to lay close. Blue summer sitting high in the window. Phone calls every night and a new glow. My click running through my mind like a rainbow. Something in my chest, feel the tension breaks. Want to stand still. Won't forget this time. I miss them, I miss them, I miss them. I definitely was getting summertime vibes from this track. Has that summertime aesthetic to it. And I would maybe listen to this song again. It was good. It's a nice inclusion on the album. It's a nice Charli XCX song, but it's not a song I would want to listen to all the time. It's one of those songs I can appreciate once, and I would maybe listen to it again. But after that, it's not really a song I would keep going back to. And that is kind of the feeling I have towards a lot of these songs. I like listening to them for the first time. But am I rushing out to want to listen to them again? Not really. Anyway, let's move on to track 9, Party For You.
I only do this party for you. Only do this party for you. It's true, it's true. Only do this party for you. Yeah. 1,000 pink balloons. DJ with your favorite tunes. Caught your friends from out of town. Got the party bag with the purple bills. I'm waiting for you by the window. Yeah. No, no, no. 1,000 pink balloons. Dance along to your favorite tunes. Only do this party for you. Only do this party for you. It's true, it's true. Only do this party for you. Only do this party for you. Watch me party on you, yeah. You can watch me pull up on your body like it's on the. Only do this party for you. If you so much tears, would you touch me? I ain't cheating in your son, now. I only do this party for you. I was hoping you would come through. I was hoping you would come through. For you, for you. I'm about to party on you. I only do this party for you. Watch me party on you, yeah. Party on you, party on you, party on, party on you, party on you. Oh, I know it's better for you. Now come on, do it.
That was track 9, Party For You. And this was another cute song on the album. Definitely a lot of repetition. I mean, Charli is the queen of repetition when it comes to many of her songs. I only threw this party for you, only threw this party for you. I was hoping you would come through. Only threw this party for you. Watch me party on you. 1,000 pink balloons. DJ with your favorite tunes. Birthday cake in August, but you were born 19th of June. Champagne pouring in your mouth. Called your friends from out of town. Got the party bag with the purple pills. I'm waiting for you by the window. And then she goes on to say, I only threw this party for you. If you saw my tears, would you touch me? Kiss me on the mouth. Say you love me. Leave a message. Tell me you're sorry. I thought this was a fun little song. I like the vibe. I would maybe listen to it again. I did think the song was a bit long. It was almost 5 minutes. And I don't think the song really warranted being that long. But anyway, let's move on to track 10, Anthems.
I'm so bored. With the ladies so serious. I'm like crying like a waterfall. I feel afraid when I feel alone. I run anthems, stay nice like friends. Oh no, I could wish you. I run anthems. You can call some. She says it's nothing. Got some hands to hold on to. I got existential and strange. I run anthems, stay nice like friends. Oh no, I could wish you. I run anthems. You can call some. I run anthems, stay nice like friends. Oh no, I could wish you. I run anthems. You can call some.
That was track 10, Anthems, and this song was okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It is, perhaps one of my least favorite tracks. I just couldn't really get into it. Hello, I'm so bored. Wake up late, eat some cereal, try my best to be physical, lose myself in a TV show, staring out to oblivion. All my friends are invisible, 24/7, miss them all. I might cry like a waterfall. I'm definitely getting quarantine vibes from this track. I feel afraid when I feel alone. Have sex, me and my Romeo. He says I'm irresistible. I'm gassed up like I'm Texaco. I ride it. Sometimes I feel okay, some days I'm so frightened I want anthems. Late nights, my friends, New York. These days, exhausting, go online shopping. I'm so uninspired, I just want to breathe. This is how I kind of felt all through 2020. I just want to go to parties, want to feel the heat from all the bodies. I still feel that way. I just want to be able to go out to bars and clubs. I just want to go out and party and have a good time. I do like the lyrics of this track. It has 2020 all over it, even 2021, even 2022, dear God. But overall, when it comes to, I guess, the melody, the overall production, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Anyway, we have made it to the end of the album, track 11, Visions.
Visions in the forest. You and I, we really went dark. Sonic kissing put me closer, close. I got pictures in my mind. I can see it so clearly, see it all so bright. I see visions coming every night. Can see it so clearly, and it looks so right. I see you. Don't you try to feel? Never seen the future so real. Sonic kissing put me closer, close. So, so, so. I got pictures in my mind. I can see it so clearly. Visions coming every night. You can call me something close to fire. I got pictures in my mind. I got pictures in my mind. I got pictures in my mind.
That was track 11, Visions, and I quite enjoyed this track. I liked that pulsating beat. This might be, actually, I know for sure, this is one of my favorite tracks from the album. Visions in the past, turbulence right from the start, tearing up your heart. You and I, we really went dark. Voices tell me, hold on. Something keeps on pulling me close. Grip into you so hard. I got pictures in my mind. I can see it so clearly. See it all so bright. I see you and I got pictures in my mind. Visions come in every night. So that was all 11 tracks of How I'm Feeling Now by Charli XCX. And going forward, I will always associate this album with the pandemic, quarantine, isolation. Just like how I always associate Chromatica by Lady Gaga with the pandemic, and also Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia. That's pretty much the overall theme of the album, dealing with the severity of isolation at the time during the beginning stages of the pandemic, lockdown, and the extreme anxiety that came with that. She sings about intimate moments with her therapist and her relationship with her boyfriend. And also, she sings about the trivial, stupid, boring things we had to deal with while stuck in quarantine. I personally think out of all her albums, this one might be the most intense when it comes to the overall production. I did like the overall production on this album. It's quite different to listen to compared to a lot of other pop albums that are being released. It really is, its own identity. Charli XCX is her own pop star. She's her own identity. She doesn't really follow trends. She kind of just does her own thing. But just like a few of her other albums, I do find at times the production on her albums can be a bit jarring and just overall noisy and headache-inducing. These aren't really songs I would always listen to. There are a few songs I really enjoy that I would for sure go back to. But I'm not really rushing out to listen to a lot of these songs again. I also don't think her vocals are the highlight on this album. Her vocals, of course, are heavily auto-tuned, but that's an artistic choice, as we've come to know since her earlier albums, her mixtapes. So it's something she chooses to do. It's pretty much her aesthetic now. I love Europop music. I love electronic music. I love EDM music. But I'm coming to realize that hyperpop, the type of electronic music that Charli creates, isn't really my cup of tea. I guess ultimately, though, it just comes down to your own personal preferences when it comes to this type of music. This hyperpop, glitchy, more experimental electronic sound from Charli. You either love it or you're not the biggest fan of it. And for me, I do fall in the latter. So what did you guys think of this album and what are your impressions? Maybe this is your favorite Charli XCX album of all time. Tell me why. So in my next Charli XCX video, we will be moving on to an album that has yet to be released. Crash, her 5th studio album from 2022, which will be released next week on March 18th. And with that album, it will mark the final video in my Charli XCX discography journey until she chooses to put out another album. So that's really exciting. I get to listen to this album for the first time with you guys. So look out for that video next Saturday, and thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I will see you next time. Take care.